Ni hao, students! Welcome to MAPE 8 Second Quarter Arts 8 Lesson 1 Chinese Art. Chinese existed for thousands of years. Chinese civilization is considered to be among the oldest in human history. There is an undeniably rich cultural history in the traditional art of China, and many of the ancient artifacts still exist today. Such works are testament to the talent and diligence of Chinese people. Chinese artists also have an exquisite taste for elegance that is observable in many of the Chinese works of art. The Chinese people have long been engaged in art forms such as pottery, paintings, calligraphy, ancient cartoons, folk arts, and paper cutting. All these displays the temperament and discipline of the Chinese, who have a strong sense of nationalism. Chinese culture displays an aura of elegance and uniqueness translated into beautiful art pieces. These artistic styles and subjects in Chinese art are largely inspired by its traditional philosophy and religion. The first Chinese art that we're going to tackle is Chinese painting. Places in a pedestal by most people in China, especially during the imperial times, the painting has garnered the most regard among the traditional Chinese art forms. Painting became a leisure activity among amateurs, aristocrats, and scholar officials. All of those who engage in painting have painstakingly aimed to perfect the technique and sensibility of the art form. During the Tang Dynasty, the subjects in the paintings were mostly landscape, used in an attempt to capture the natural form of nature. Images of landscape observed in China paintings were of mountains, homes, birds, trees, and water. These portray the various elements of the universe that many Chinese people believed in. Also, the paintings depicted how human beings communed with nature and how humans were but tiny specks in a vast, natural universe. Other themes in Chinese painting include traditional poetry and calligraphy. Chinese calligraphy. Among the most popular Chinese artistic traditions is calligraphy. It is the art of making decorative letterings or handwritings, usually with a brush dipped in black or colored ink. It is considered by Chinese artists as one of the highest and purest forms of painting practiced in civilizations in East Asia. Japan and Korea also use Chinese characters in their forms of writing. It takes years to master the art of calligraphy. Writing perfectly with style is the ultimate goal of the calligraphers. Precision is key, as there are at least 4,000 characters that a calligrapher must master. There are stroke orders that must also be remembered when writing these characters. Thus, brushstroke in calligraphy is based on precise orders of the stroke. Chinese architecture. Chinese culture has been consistently visible in Chinese architectural structures. Two of the more prominent influences in the style of the architecture and sculpture in China are Buddhist tenets and Indian art. Some notable features of a Chinese traditional house include the curved tile roof, floral pattern on wooden pillars, and delicate applique designs on windows. Symmetry is a highly emphasized element in Chinese architecture, and this is true in both grand palaces and simple farmhouses. Chinese gardens, on the other hand, do not follow this principle. The asymmetry in gardens suggests to patrons an impression of a lasting flow and the absence of a particular direction to freely explore the wholeness of nature. The most popular principle of order and balance is the feng shui, which is used in organizing constructions and laying out the architecture. Feng shui is one of the pillars of ancient Chinese architectural theory and the soul of traditional Chinese architecture. It promotes the harmonious relationship between a person and nature. Chinese ceramics. Porcelain is one of the materials commonly associated with China. During the imperial years of the country, porcelain gained popularity among producers and users alike. Porcelain stone and china clay are the materials for Chinese porcelain. These items have become chief export products and have become symbolic of Chinese artistry. The Qing dynasty produced some of the finest monochrome porcelain. It was also known for its celadon or green porcelain. The ceramics of Yuan dynasty were famous for their cobalt blue paintings and flower motifs. The ceramics made during the Ming dynasty were noted for the varieties of their designs as well as their bold forms and decorations. The decorations such as moonlight blue, rose pink, peach bloom, and rice grain often took inspiration from nature. The porcelain of the Qing dynasty was well known for its finely painted landscapes and polychrome decorations, as well for its flower and bird designs. Chinese music. Chinese traditional art has also flourished in other parts of the world. Chinese music is among these art forms. It has become important in the artistic tradition of China. Evidence shows the development of Chinese musical culture as early as the Zhou dynasty. Influences in Chinese music include the Book of Songs and Confucian philosophy, as well as the poetry and statesmanship of a Chinese named Ku Yuan. Percussion instruments were primarily used, but later on string and reed were also played. Weddings and funerals were the usual events where Chinese folk music was played. It usually involves a form of oboe, known as the soona, and an ensemble percussion instrument known as chugushu. Chinese folk toys. Chinese toys are also part of the traditional folk art in China. These toys reflect beliefs, worldviews, taste, and costumes of the Chinese. The ingenuity, creativity, and imaginativeness of toy makers are displayed throughout the techniques they employ in toy making. Some materials used to create different toys are cloth, grass straw, clay, and paper. These toys may be used either for play or for decorative purposes. There are also festival toys, such as lanterns in the shapes of dragons, monkeys, or lotus, kites in the shapes of animals and objects such as dragonfly, butterfly, fish, and fan, and sachets that look like peaches and have colorful patterns. Chinese lanterns. Paper lanterns were used in ancient China primarily as lamps. Lantern making originated from the Eastern Han Dynasty. Paper lanterns may be as intricate as possible with other crafts, such as Chinese paintings, paper cutting, pricking, and seaming, which are done in making these patterns. Materials used in paper lantern making are paper, silk, bamboo, wood, wheat straw, and metal. Chinese kites. The kite was pivotal during wars, especially during the spring and autumn period in China between 770 BC and 476 BC. There are Chinese historical accounts narrating how the prominent ideologist Mu Zi constructed a wooden kite in 3 years only to fail after a day of flying it. Other records also narrated how kite was used by the master carpenter Lu Ban to spy on an enemy situation. Chinese arts are some of the most beautiful and inspiring in the world. From the intricate details of Chinese calligraphy to the vibrant colors of Chinese painting, Chinese arts have a unique aesthetic that is both captivating and inspiring. And that ends our lesson for today. Thank you so much, students, for watching, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe. 谢谢。